In episode 2, we followed the journey from idea to prototype. But one thing became very clear. We barely scratched the surface, so we left the cameras rolling. This episode isn't for everyone. But if you've ever wondered what actually goes into shaping a board, Patrik is about to walk you through the process.
Like a lot of people, friends or customers, they ask me if I do the 3D designing. And yes, we do. So what we have, all the foil boards, because they're up in the air. Let's say it's not on the millimeter here, there, rocker, V, double concaves. It's more like aerodynamic. So this is what we are designing on the computer. But whenever it comes to the fin, speed boards, wave boards, slalom boards, what's literally like on the water, contact, where you turn, you need to feel the water going around the rail, everything. I can't. I literally, hand shaping is, for me, is way superior. And this is what I love when hand shaping. I can really feel the actual size. I can place my foot here, feel the curve, also the front foot. I can put the board on the wall, look from far, get an idea how it looks like the nose, the pointness, the thickness here, everywhere, the width. I just love hand shaping. So the way I shape is, imagine someone who makes a sculpture, so out of wood. There's a tree trunk, first with a big chainsaw, just do the basic, just imagine there's a stage rail like this. So you're cutting holes, you do the basic outline, and then you take a smaller chainsaw, go into more details, then even smaller chainsaw until the very tiny chainsaw, until the very end, where you do like with the chisel and with the sandpaper, you do all the very, very details of eyes, hair, or hands, or whatever it is. I do a similar way. I first shape rough with the machine, and I go to a hand tool, which is still rough. Then I go to a sandpaper, and then at the very end with the sanding grit. Here are the tools I'm going to use. That's a planer, but the planer is with the sandpaper roll. I use this one to do the tuckets because of the difficulty of the material differences. Then on the deck, for the rough shape, I use that one, sandpaper. And then I go down to the hand tool. It's also quite rough. Then this one is just a flexible plate. It's a G10 plate. It's a bit harder than that one, with sandpaper underneath. So you can twist it as well. This one is softer than that. Then just glue together two sandpapers, also quite flexible. And then that one is the sanding grit. This one is a bit rougher. And that one at the very end, which is very fine. To show you a little bit about the shaping room, what it does. So just an example. I turn the board. You can see here, yeah, there's some shape, but you don't see exactly how much. But when I switch off the top light, you can see here, you can see the shadow. Also, as an example, I do with my fingernail, just here, if you film here. So there's nothing here. I just do with my fingernail, a little bit like this. Now you can see it. So this is nothing. The depth here is like 0.1. But if I switch off the light, you can hardly see it. It's almost gone. So with the lights, it's very important, shape room, you can see every little detail. Here I'm going to shape a board for light people, light riders, kids under 65 kilos. So this board will have around 60, 62 liters. So we call it the QTS, whatever, 62. As you can see, the scoop rocker line already done, bottom shape done, outline done. It's just 90 degrees off the bottom shape. And then when you look from the side, it's very thick. So I would like to show you how I shape. So start off with the tuckets. You can see there are different materials. This is the styrofoam, which is very soft. So this is very soft, easy to remove. That one is PVC. It is harder, so it's much harder. So I do roughly first with the hand tool. It's not going to look very beautiful, but as I said, it's really just a rough cut. So this side, as you can see, it's quite rough. You can see all the steps. So now using this tool, one time forward, one time back, and then you can see the difference. This rail is absolutely not finished. Depending on how thick the rail is, the tucket will change. So if there's a thick rail, this tucket will be completely different than if the rail is thinner. So as I'm not 100% sure how everything will come together, I just did a rough shape of the tucket. Now I go to the deck. The deck, as you can see, it's quite a thick nose, thick in the middle, and very thick tail. So what I'll do first is I do the tail and the nose, just rough, and then I go through the middle. This is the rough cut with the machine. It looks a bit more like a board than before. Now going to go to this tool. If I put the template, you can see I'm like 5 mil away from the final board. You can see the flat spot here, so the tucket and the deck is coming together more and more. Now I'm going to do the thickness, roughly. So whatever I shape here and here, I try to just combine the two sides. At this stage is where I start checking the first measurement. What's very important is the tail thickness, because we have the fin boxes and we have the inserts. So for example, if I put the insert here and I have a thruster set up, so I need one of those boxes in the middle, you can see. So this is a minimum thickness I actually need. So I'm going to check on that to make sure the board is not too thin, because otherwise it will just cause trouble. The minimum thickness I need in the tail here is 60 mil. So I'm at 65, plus I have a 3 mil PVC on the top, so I'm at 68. So I can still take, let's say, 5 mil. So I'm gonna put a mark. So 5 mil. So here we go. I cannot go any thinner than that. Good. Now, have a quick look. Next, I will do a bit more tuck it again and come a bit closer to the deck. Okay, next, turn it around. Take the finer tool, hand shape tool, do the rails. With this rail I'm already very close, so I make a mark just to know not to go any further for now. Rails, not 100%, so I still have a 2-3 mil tolerance to play with. But so far I'm happy. Scoop, thickness, still have a bit of range here. It comes together nicely. Now as I went more down with the rail, there's still some flat on the side here. So you can see from this angle more, but there's not a lot left. So if I just make this edge a bit rounder and this a bit rounder, it will just unite and that will be done. So I go one more time to the bottom. Back to the deck. The rails do not fit 100% yet, so I will do that. I try to go even closer. So far it looks good. So, next one, this one. And you can see the line. So that one, done. I'm going to the final stage, by the way. I do the tail and the nose, and then go through the middle one more time. Now, this, pretty much done. That looks really good. Next, we go to the final thickness. Now we're going to measure the thickness, just to be sure. Let's check with the board from last time. So the last board was 5.7 and it was too thin. And I struggled with the insert, so now I made it thicker. So it's 6.1, so 4 mil more. Perfect. To connect this side with this side, I do first a little bit of crisscross sanding. I'm done with those tools, so no more. To make sure it's totally symmetric, I'm using this tool. Has a little bubble at the back. So I go in the center, push it down, make sure the bubble is in the center. Remove it, turn it around, and put it down again. So, looks good. Okay, final phase. Removing all the bumps, if there are any. I mean, you can see yourself, there are not many bumps. However, a bit here and there, there's always something. We go to the next paper, which is this one. I take 2 because it's just distributing the force of my hand better. No bump. Nothing. And the last one. They're very fine. By the way, this I also do because it makes the surface smoother. It will absorb less resin, so the board will be a little lighter. Final touch on the rail. Climb one. Here you can see the little edges gone. I always put those markings so when I look over it for a last time, I can see where I am with my eyes. Wow. For this prototype, we're good. Hope you like it.